Hello and welcome back. I am Conan Lybarian with Conan's EDC, Easy Dad Carry, and today we're going to make a wallet survival kit. Let's take a look. So I really like making survival kits, right? This is the one I did recently for the Dollar Tree survival tin, and it's more about, I guess, the thought experiment and seeing what kind of practicality you can get into a kit like this. Now, I fully believe something like this is not a professional kit, and you could go out and spend a lot of money on a professional kit. Now, that being said, a kit, regardless of what's in it or how much money you've spent, is only as useful as the knowledge you have to use those tools in the kit. So while this has a lot of stuff that would be great for me, it may not have everything that someone else might need, or I may be completely underprepared, but I at least understand how to use certain tools in this to better my chances. So that aside, I've spent some time online and I came across a couple things that I thought would be kind of fun to play with, because here's the thing about a survival tin or an EDC tin, it's still a tin. And I wanted to see, what else can I do? What can I make that's, again, fun, kind of a thought experiment, and could still possibly be practical? And so I came across these a little while ago, and I think anyone that's done EDC or camping or survival has probably also come across these before as well. These are actual survival cards. So it's these sheets with these metal saws, fishing lures, hooks, knives, all sorts of things in them. And I thought it would be kind of cool to see what I could get into something like a wallet, something that could really actually easily fit in a pocket as compared to carrying something like a tin, especially if we bulk it up with something like this. So I thought it'd be neat to see what we can do with something like a regular wallet. So we are going to set a couple parameters. One, it has to actually be able to fit inside the trifold or a pouch in this wallet, whatever goes in it, right? We can't, because well, tell you what, this could technically go inside this wallet and I could carry it, but that's not really the point, right? We need something that can actually go in and be carried in this wallet. And then two, it has to be able to be on this grid here. We're going to say 1/4 of an inch or less, because we want to, again, not crazy bulk this up, although I have a feeling it'll fill up pretty quick. I mean, if we just look at this wallet, and then the thickness of all this stuff, that might bulk up kind of quick, but we'll see what we've got here. The other thing I came across with this actually came with one of these survival cards. Now, this is another one that is super common to most people. But this kit came with this card that's got a little bit of line on it, which isn't terrible. And, these things, they're a hunk of metal, right? This edge here is not sharp. I'd want to sharpen it on something. This one doesn't have a saw blade like I've seen on a lot of these, but it's got a couple little things. It's got a little serrated edge here. Again, none of it really super sharp, but the fact is it's a hunk of metal. It can take an edge, and it's got some line with it. This kit also came with some fishing line. Now, it didn't tell me. I could not find what poundage fishing line this is, but that being said, I'm not going to cram all of this in here, but I have an idea as to how we are going to fit it. Now, I have a few other supplies that we're going to be putting in there, and I'm probably, in fact, going to steal a few more things out of this survival kit. You saw I initially took out tape, and tape to me is always super important, always super useful, whether it's for binding, whether it's for first aid, or whether it's kindling. But I mean, that's easily going to be something that fits right in there. I'd ideally probably wrap a full... I picked up a couple extras of these. By the way, if you go to a gas station that has a loyalty program, so this is from UDF, but like Speedway or others, a lot of times you could just ask them for cards and they'll just give them to you. And I find these super useful. It's what I usually wrap tape and other things around. So yeah, pretty easy way to stock up on these if you use them for any sort of kits. But we're going to start right off the bat putting some tape in here, and I'll just put right up front to make it easy. Now, the other couple things that I really want to put in here would be, obviously, this is all survival stuff, some sort of fire, which should be easy enough. Also light, and light has been actually a really tricky one to find because I have a lot of really great lights that I EDC and lights that I carry around or have in my packs, but finding a, quote, flat light or something to fit in a wallet has been super tricky until I found these. So I found these things. They are little light cards. Now they came in like $10 for 10 of them. I'll drop the link. Here we go. Cute little card here. But this is literally a little LED card. Now it's not very bright, right? What I will say is, in the dark, this is not going to broadcast very far, but if you were, say, in a tent or at a table or in a small space, and tell you what, I'll get some pictures here, I'll drop it here, where you can actually at least read something in darkness. Again, it's not a headlamp, but it's something that will actually fit in a wallet or in, well, pretty much any convenient pouch. So that's pretty nice. Again, I'll drop the link for these. I thought that was really cool to actually be able to find something that, well, gives off at least a little bit of something and can actually go in a wallet. I think it uses just a regular, like, 2023 watch battery in here if you ever really want to replace them. Again, though, it was also 10 of them for $10. So we've got tape, we've got light. I do also want to put this card in here because, again, it's a hunk of metal. It's a solid hunk of metal, as opposed to one of these that's pretty thin. Here you can see just how thin it is, and I'll start taking these out. But I do actually want to put this in the wallet itself. See how it fits. Well, maybe I don't want to put it behind that, but it can go. There we go. And so far, alright, yeah, so far, we still have the ability to Velcro. So that's good. We also want to put a Fresnel lens. Fresnel. I can never say it right the first time. A Fresnel lens. These are awesome. They're great for starting fires. My kiddos have both learned how to use these on a sunny day to be able to start fires. They're just great to have. And they really take up no space. So I'm just going to kind of cram it here with that. I might see what we can do, because I want to avoid bulking up too much in one space versus another space. Maybe I'll do this to keep the tape safe, or that may become where I put other supplies. I have a feeling I'm going to be moving a lot of stuff around as I fill this up. Let's see. Tell you what, magic of editing. And all right. So both of these, those little pieces of tape, wrapped card and tape, are in this over here. That works out just fine. I can still get them out, and they lay flat next to each other. So I've got a solid card, got some light, got the Fresnel lens, got some tape. Let's start getting some of these cards out. Now, this kit, I chose this one because it has a lot of different tools, and you can get them in a lot of different ways. So, I mean, I might just see if I can fit all of them in here and just give it a try. I don't want to punch any of them out yet, but I think at some point I'm going to do a follow-up video where I use a bunch of these. But I really wonder, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 of these, and I think, honestly, I'm gonna see if I can get all of them. If there's 6 of them, I've got 3 folds in this trifold wallet, right? Yeah, it fits there. It fits here. And it fits, oh, in the side too. So with all the plastic baggies, is really taking up a lot of space, but it still actually Velcros. That's kind of a testament to these cards, because I'm always curious how they actually fit in anything, but it's still technically fitting. Tell you what, I'm going to do another magic editing jump, and I'm going to get the zip locks off of all these to see how much space it really saves us. Alright, so I actually left them in their pouches, sort of. I cut the tops off so they wouldn't be just flopping around, and it was a lot of extra bulk. I also found, because I don't want to just take these cards out. Now, say what you want about the quality, because this is not D2 steel, this isn't anything crazy, but, I mean, these points are sharp. The saw in here is sharp. These hooks are a little sharp, and I would not, say I wanted to use something like this, I would not want it just loose in here, and I wouldn't want it to be snagging the wallet itself. That would kind of, I guess, defeat the purpose of the kit itself. But I will say, that actually fits pretty well. This thing is still easily grabbing the Velcro on it. So far, we're doing good. Now, what I want to do, too, is actually use some of this fishing line. I'm not going to be able to get all this in here. However, what I do have, like I said, are some of these cards. And I'm not sure, again, what poundage this line actually is, and I want to find the end of it, which looks like right here. But what we're actually going to do is make a spool of this line to slide into this wallet here. And I like these cards because they're disposable, they're easy to get a hold of, and they're pretty much everywhere. So I'm going to fast forward as I get through this, so it'll be easy enough to see what I'm doing and kind of give the theory behind it once I get it wrapped up a little bit. So here is our super ugly taped up fishing spool. Tell you what, let's do a little more magic editing. And boom. So what I've got here is about 20 feet of fishing line. Now this thing is not super sturdy, however, it is a nice compact way to carry it. If I really want to, I could use this as a spool. Say I'm just, I don't know, fishing for minnows. But it's at least a way I can carry this and store it. Let's see where it'll fit in here. I think I can probably slide it in with the rest of the tape in here too. Although I am really kind of starting to bulk up a little bit. I wonder if I can move some of this and get this in here. There we go. See if that'll still close. So far, we still have closure. I don't know that I'd want to sit on this like a classic wallet, but it's still closing. It's still fitting. That's great. Let's see. All right, what else do we need in here? We've got a Fresnel lens, Fresnel, whatever it is, a Fresnel lens in here. What I really do want, though, is an actual dedicated blade. Now, I had a heck of a time trying to find a nice thin blade, and I actually picked up a pack of these a while ago, essentially for these tins. It's non-locking, it's just stainless steel, but if I need to, I can clip it, which is nice. It still fits the criteria, even with the clip right there. Wait, let's see. There we go. Right there at that quarter. So this can, in fact, slide in. If I really wanted to cheat, I could maybe put it on, yeah. See, I could still put it on the zipper, which isn't a bad thing, actually. If I really wanted to, I could, well, how would I do this? Yeah, maybe I'll just do it like this, so that way the knife actually stays secure in there and attached to it instead of possibly falling out or sliding out. Although I will say, even with these cards the way they are, still staying in there pretty easy. Alright, what else do we want in here? Okay, so I think I also want to do some first aid, because first aid goes in everything. And I'm going to say it again because I always say it. Please have first aid. Whether you're at home, you're hiking, you're camping, it could be an emergency, you're in your car, have access to good first aid. Accidents that happen at home can be just as bad and just as quick as something that happens out in the woods while you're hiking. Have access to good first aid. This is not good first aid. This is boo-boos. This is going to be a couple band-aids, maybe a couple wipes here, just to put something in here, because it's all slim fit, and it's all going to be able to take... There we go. Yeah, it fits pretty easy in there. Again, this isn't anything super great. As a matter of fact, I'd say it's almost a waste, but worst case scenario, it's at least kindling for you. There we go. I kind of want this out of the way so I'm not... If you're reaching in here, that's the one thing I will say about this kit so far, is not very, how do we want to say, finger friendly. This isn't something I'd want to just kind of rummage through. This would be something I would lay out and very carefully determine what I need for what purposes. But yeah, a little bit of a few band-aids, a few alcohol wipes. Heck, if I really wanted to, I could probably ditch some of the hardware itself and shove this thing in there. But I'm just looking for a couple little boo-boo bandages. Never a bad thing. And they can actually go right in here with this, because it's easy to access. Perfect. We've got some first aid in there now. So I think the way this thing shifts around, you want to be careful. Although this is already bulky, so we're going to put this guy over here because it's just tape and some thinner cards anyways. There we go. We'll still see how it's closing up here. It is still Velcroing, although not as easy. I think the knife, while it's a good intention that it's anchored, really can just tuck somewhere else. I mean, I could probably even... Yeah, it fits right in there. That way it can actually fold with everything. Makes more sense. And there we go. I think there's really only one last thing I really want to put in here. Alright, and that is a book of matches, or as close to a book of matches as I can get. So I have an idea on how I want to do this to be able to fit them quote-unquote flat. So let's see if this works. And there we go. The ugliest, most awkward, I'll say, awkwardly crafted book of matches I think I've ever seen, and I've personally ever done. This was just more kind of a theory I wanted to see if I could do while working on this, but with the match itself, take one, pull it out, you have your strikers in here. So yeah, I think that actually doesn't work too bad. Now, that being said, it keeps them kind of flat. I did keep one of the bags from these tools here, and I think it would probably be a good idea because these are not waterproof. Now, if I was really going at this hard, I would do waterproof, strike anywhere, that sort of thing. However, this is what I had on me. You can really do this with any type of match, obviously. Maybe that sounds dumb, but there are differences in matches, and there are differences in how they feel and how they strike. But what I really wanted was this flat piece. Let's see. kind of what it measures out at, because again, we had the 1/4 inch rule, and if you can see that, it definitely falls well within that. It's no wider than a slim little credit card and a head of a match. So I think that actually works out pretty well, and I think I find a good place for this, and I'm going to call it done. And if I can get it just right down here in the middle, because I don't have that much else in here. Is that going to stay? Oh, almost. Well, we don't have as much on the side here as I thought we did initially, so if we can put this here. And there we go. I think I'm going to call it done at this point. And I know it's cheesy. I know, like I said, you're not going to sit on this. I know I wouldn't and couldn't. But the point is, say you don't obviously want to carry everything that's in here. That's not to say that something like this little lamp guy can't be useful and slip somewhere convenient. That's not to say that maybe a couple of these cards wouldn't be a bad idea. This guy's got a little fork, little fish hooks, little knife in here. Again, not sure how sharp, but it's still better than not having anything. The point of any of these survival kits, and when you see people build these online, unless there's really actual professional gear and thought that goes into it, it's a thought experiment itself about preparedness. It's a thought experiment itself about how you would use your gear. So while if I got dropped out in the wild and said, here's your Dollar Tree crap, or here's a dad wallet full of a bunch of random hardware, good luck. I don't know that I'd, be Bear Grylls in this, Bear Grylls, Survivor Man, whatever his name is. But at the same time, that doesn't mean there isn't something of value when it comes to making something, building something, and really seeing what's out there. So I hope you had fun on this one. I did. I've actually been really excited to put this together and kind of play with it. So yeah, see what you can do. See what sort of kit you can make, or even just pick up some of this stuff, because really it is kind of cool. And yeah, thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe, be prepared, and have a great day.